Welcome along to Rapid Honda. 11 weekends of the year, bikes like our BSB bike are thrashing around UK circuits, creating probably the best and closest racing you'll see anywhere in the world. It is a fantastic spectacle as riders push these 220 plus horsepower bikes to their absolute limit. Unfortunately, the show is quite expensive, and so today team boss Matt is with me and we're going to go and show you how much it actually costs to race in BSB. Throughout the season you might have spotted a Bike Magazine logo on our bike because we've had a bit of a collaboration with Bike Magazine, so we get some nice extra coverage in the magazine and they get some excellent content. And in the latest copy of the magazine you can open it up and you can see how much it costs us to go BSB racing. And apparently it's £27,270 a weekend. But I think we need to add a little extra context to that.
Bike Magazine is the UK's leading bike magazine. They have 50,000 plus readership a month, and it's a fantastic way for you to get added value out of your sponsorship of Rapid Honda Racing.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank all the sponsors we've had on board with us this year, including Rapid Training, Jorvik Design Group, Hior, Lime Solicitors. Down here we've got King Carbon, Arrow, M&B Electrical, Gibson Survey, Mapping, Armada Marine Cables, Hugh Shot. We have had some excellent support this year. We could not have done it without you, so thank you. I'd also like to continue that to our product support sponsors. So a massive thank you to Motul. The brake fluid is 30 quid a bottle. Engine oil. This is Honda kit specific. That's £150 a bottle if you have to buy it. It has saved us a fortune having Motul on board, and it is also conveniently the best oils and fluids you can buy. We've also been running Zabaki chains, Renthal sprockets, a lot of the Spider stuff we have, rear sets, clip-ons, that sort of stuff. We got to deal with them at the start of the year. That's been mega. We've got GB protecting our engines. We have had a lot of product support. I have probably missed somebody, but thank you again. We couldn't do it without you. But that's enough of the freebies. What we really want to know is how much these things actually cost to build and to race.
The biggest chunk of this season as a single item is tyres, front and rear. We've been through approximately 80 sets this year, including wets. Total value for all the tyres this year, approximately 32,000, give or take. There might have been a few extra wets for testing or a bad weekend, but yeah, 32,000 of your good English pounds on black rubber. These lovely shiny stoppy things are approximately £1,500 a set, so £750 a disc. We started off with 6 sets of those because we had 6 sets of wheels at the start of the year. And then you've got the calipers, nice shiny Superbike calipers, £3,000 a set. And then what goes in the calipers, obviously you've got your pads, and your pads you're talking £200 a set. And we've worked out just now that we've gone through minimum 2 sets a weekend. You're looking at approximately £3,000 in making sure if you're going 200 miles an hour, you can stop at the end of it. Approximately total for brakes, £25,500.
And on top of the £25,500 we spent at Brembo this year, there's a few extra little bits. Brake coolers. These come from Moto Coach in Germany. They're, to us, just over £200 a set, and we've broken one set, so we've done about 450 quid in brake coolers. But luckily, the brake lines, of which we've been through a couple of sets, they come to us from Hell on a bit of a sponsorship deal, so those are FOC. Next to all the braking stuff is this. That's potentiometer, but that's part of the Motec system. And so these bikes run a Motec dashboard, Motec ECU, but the wiring loom is custom made and the sensors and bits have to work with the wiring loom. And so the bike came from Honda with the dashboard, the ECU, wiring loom bits on it, but through the year you damage sensors, GPS units break, that sort of thing, and we've spent around £5,000 on replacement parts just for the electronics.
Right, we've got a sponsorship deal with King Carbon for the bodywork. It fits really well, first time, and that's not just a plug, it genuinely does. The guys have found it really easy to fit. It's also very lightweight considering it's not carbon. Carbon is very expensive. So we're very grateful to King Carbon for their support. We've had a paint this year from padded cell. Pete at Padded Cell's done a very, very good job, almost too good for racing. We've had 5 sets painted across the year. They're 1,000 to 1,500 quid a set, including all the stickers. I say it's almost too good for racing. As we've gone through a few sets, we've had a few sets painted flat white, or the flat colours, the black and the white, and stickered them up, and the stickers still cost. We've had 5 sets, so we're talking about £1,500 in stickers, sticker kits for all the sponsors. An additional cost on top of the bodywork this year has been screens. Last year we got lucky, Franco crashed a few times, never broke a screen until the last round at Brands. This year we've been through at least 7, about 7 times £70, you're talking 490 quid on screens this year, which is an additional cost over last year. Underneath the King Carbon tank cover is a Honda Superbike fuel tank. They are £3,500. You don't want to write one off. We did at the start of the year, but very luckily we got it repaired and we still have 2 £3,500 fuel tanks. On the tank front though, we have had 2 fuel pumps fail this year and they are £800 plus the VAT each. And talking of writing bikes off, the forks and the swing arm are the pointy bits that you don't want to be bending. We have been lucky this year and got away with it. We have only had to replace an outer tube on these forks, but that is still £800, but that is also about £9 cheaper than a whole set of forks. Yeah. Other than stone chipping, this is the swing arm that started the season in, no damage, all straight, another £8.5 saved on the season.
Even though we've only had to replace one outer tube on the forks, we have of course had to have them stripped, checked, and during the season of course they've had routine maintenance, general servicing, the forks and the shocks, so that's added in another couple of £1,000 into the budget. So luckily a lot of the components we use in BSB are price capped. The price cap on the shock is £5,000. Strangely enough, this Öhlins is £5,000.
Let's talk engines. We've had a few swaps this year, as you may have seen from Dave's videos. The boys love an engine change, but the cause of those engine changes, only 2 failures across the whole season, which isn't too bad. The rest of them have been minor little bits and pieces, gearboxes, service mileage, etc. Gearbox wise, they wear quite quickly, £8,000 on gearboxes, a few rebuilds, £6,000 on parts, £3,500 on labour, not forgetting Dave's free labour for rebuilding a few as well, from when they've been upside down just for safety checks. We've had 3 engines this year and they've all been in and out of the bikes a few times.
So that list covers quite a lot of the parts and the components for our Superbike, but it doesn't cover everything. There are always little details that you've got to take into account. For example, dry brake lines, the dry brake connectors on the brake lines, they don't unfortunately come with the brake lines. They are 150 quid per part, so it's 300 quid per brake line that you want to be able to change. So that's the kind of thing that you don't really anticipate at the start of the year, but soon adds up. Nice fasteners, titanium nuts and bolts, specific fasteners for brake discs, that sort of thing, that adds up into your cost. And we've modified a few little bits from when we got the bike from Honda. We've got different yokes, different spaces and a few different bits on the bike, and some of that actually saved us money. The yokes that we run, they're offset adjustable, they were 600 quid a set. We wrote a set off in Spain testing, we've got 2 sets of spares, so that's £1,800 we spent on the yokes, but it's cheaper than buying the Honda ones that were 1,500 quid a set, and we'd have needed several sets for the offset adjustments. We've also run different air scoops, we've run the Carbonin ones, they're a tiny bit heavier than the Honda ones, but they're also half the price, and there's just an array of little bits here, there and everywhere on the bike that all cost money.
We've been front to back, that's how much component parts cost for a Superbike. We got this bike off Honda at the start of the year. It's a 23 factory bike. We've run it this year in 24. Unfortunately, we can't disclose how much we paid for it, plus the engines at the start of the year. But if you want to buy a new bike from Honda to this spec, approximately, you're looking at £90,000 to £100,000 plus VAT.
Plus spares.
Plus spares, plus wheels, plus staff, plus running it. Why are we doing this?
Staff costs.
Oh, do you really want to disclose your salary on camera?
I'm a bargain. And we'll not disclose Rob's one either.
No. On hours worked, I don't think anyone makes a fortune out of this. Yeah, we all put it in for free. Yeah, this year, mechanics, the core team has been paid. We've got some very willing volunteers that we're very grateful for. So we'll give them a plug quickly as well. Jim, AUK Jim. Science Rob Stanley. He's been helping us with how the team learns. Very grateful for his help and input. Can't forget Jem and Khan as well have been helping us on the media. They've been brilliant. Hopefully you'll have noticed our social media presence this year has been somewhat improved from last year, so thank you very much to them. But yeah, staff costs, it all adds up, and our wage bill is a fraction of what the big teams spend.
Go on, Matt, what did we spend?
Approximately 30 to 35 grand on labour, and I say some teams spend that on just one person.
So how much have we spent on food? Because the troops need feeding.
Yes, they do, and they're very hungry after a hard night swapping an engine. They eat 200 to 300 pounds worth of food a weekend with drinks and everything else. Dave is probably about 200 pounds of that. The rest of it has to make do on 100 pounds and whatever's left after he's finished.
When we talked about the fuel tank earlier, Matt, we didn't talk about the contents of the fuel tank.
Yes, the contents of the fuel tank can be regular pump fuel at 140 a litre. We have to use Panta control fuel, which is £5 something a litre. We go through two approximately 50 litre drums a weekend, so you do the maths, 500 and something pounds a weekend on fuel to go brum brum.
So we've been through the cost of the components on the bike, the general running cost of it, but what we really need is a big number. How much has it cost this year for us to compete in BSB?
Big number for us to go racing this year, 2024 British Superbikes, including bike, fuel, Dave's food, everything, £316,000.
So there you have it, £316,000 to run a second-hand Honda at BSB. If you would like to come along and have your name plastered down the side of our Rapid Honda, it would be brilliant for you to get involved. We have deals available, whether you're a personal sponsor or whether you want to come in at a corporate level. Please get in touch. I'll put the link in the description to where you can contact us. But thank you for watching. I hope this has been informative, and join us again next time for some more motorbike fun.